Well, folks, I apologize. I want to, from the bottom of my heart, sincerely apologize to you all and admit you were right 100%. And I'm going to explain that exactly in just a moment, but I do want to let you know that I listen to you. I hear you. I hear you all. Or actually, I take that back. I read what you say, your comments as they come through. I read the comments and I try to incorporate them into future videos. Maybe not so much building a video around it, but listening and remembering and understanding and feeling your pain, your concerns, your frustrations, your worries, your fears, your questions that you would love to be answered. Granted, I don't have all the answers, but I at least want to try to help you find solutions to the problems that you may face now, currently, or potentially in the future. With that being said, I read all the comments for the most part. And if it's not me, then maybe it's my wife, Michelle, Squirrel Tribe, and she does help me facilitate some of these. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I do come across some of the less than desirable comments from the people out there that may not necessarily be entirely happy with their lives or the current situations, the things that are going on. And I get it. I understand that not everyone is going to effectively communicate the same way, or at least the way that I would want to be addressed or names called or whatever you want to call it. But I get it. I understand. And no matter what, no matter who you are, no matter where you are in your life and the current state or position or struggles that you may face, I just want you to know that I hear you, I hear all of you, and my message to you all is the same. No matter what, no matter who, no matter whatever the obstacle may be that is currently approaching, has been bugging you for a while, or could potentially in the future, remember that no matter what, first and foremost, we must always put God first, number one, okay? With that being said, I don't want to make this video longer than it needs to be, and I do want to make sure that I bring you guys the information as quickly as possible without wasting any time, because that would be one of the more common comments that I receive is, Kevin, you have great information, just hurry up and get to the point. And one of those being, I want to bring you answers to the questions, for instance, like this national alert, this national what's this thing called? It's called a nationwide emergency alert test. It's coming to your phone on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. And I want to answer some questions as folks have been now asking me, is this for Canada too? So I got a question for you guys. If you're in Canada and you're wondering about this, or if you're just in Canada in general, just in the comment section, just type out Canada. That way I can know how many of you folks are in Canada, because YouTube's analytics isn't always entirely accurate. So if you could just put that in the comments, that would be very helpful. And I'll know for the future, who I'm talking to, or more so, maybe I should be including and incorporating more content for Canada, or at least clarifying when I'm making these videos, whether it's whatever country it's for, or more than likely to affect the most. I naturally tend to gravitate towards just a U.S., United States of America bias, because that's me, that's where I live, that's what I'm focused on. But I also know that, we could be talking about other countries, so I want to make sure I make that clear. So for those who have been asking about the nationwide emergency alert test coming on Wednesday, it says that, and I'm just going to read this to you. I got two different sites, but the first one here it says, consider yourself warned. The federal government will conduct a nationwide test of the emergency alert system on Wednesday afternoon. The test messages will be sent to all cell phones, televisions, and radios. The test will emit sound and on phones vibration. The Federal Emergency Management. I'm sorry. I'm laughing. It's like they had to clarify it was on phones. Whereas, do you think your television is going to start vibrating? But anyway. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, and the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, are running the test in preparation for actual emergencies. The aim of the test is to ensure the emergency messaging system is running smoothly in the event Americans are threatened by natural disasters, terrorism, or other dangers to public safety. Another question for you guys. With this test being run tomorrow on October 4th. How soon thereafter do you think there will be a natural disaster threat or a terrorism threat or a danger to public safety threat? Just kind of curious if it will be immediate or if it will be prolonged after this test has been completed. Next up, it says, you may be familiar with the jolting sounds accompanying National Weather Service alerts and AMBER, America's Missing Broadcast Emergency Response Alerts, and Wednesday's cell phone alerts will be sent via the same wireless system. And I'd be willing to bet that even if you sat there and you just sat there and you waited until 2:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for it to go off, you'd still like jump a little bit just because it's so damn loud. Like, I don't think you can help it. But either way, I don't think you guys are going to be doing that. I think you guys are going to be preparing yourselves to not receive this message. Am I right? So it says that when is the test happening? The test is scheduled to begin at about 2:20 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, October 4th. The testing window runs for 30 minutes, but you should only receive the message once. If an actual emergency happens that day, the test could be postponed. A backup test is scheduled for the following week. What will the test message look like? On cell phones, the alert will read, "This is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. No action is needed." Phones set to Spanish will display, "Esta es una prueba del Sistema Nacional de Alerta de Emergencia. No se necesita acción." Hopefully I said that somewhat right. TV and radio will announce this is a nationwide test of the emergency alert system issued by the Federal Emergency Management Agency covering the United States from 1420, which is military time, which is interesting. Somebody said that their Bose clock radio just automatically changed to standard 24-hour military time instead of AM PM. What's going on with that? But from 1220 or 1420 to 1450 East hours Eastern ET, this is only a test. No action is required by the public. So, and also it says, why is the test happening? FEMA, and granted, you may have some different opinions or have heard different things in other places as to why the tests are happening, but it says here that FEMA is required by law to conduct national tests of the Integrated Public Alert and Warning System, IPAWS, at least once every 3 years. The last national test was in 2021. I don't know why, but for some reason, 2021 didn't have as much of a widespread, broad announcement as to it happening. Do you guys remember that at all? Because I don't. But either way, the key takeaway here is that it says that this is a nationwide test of the emergency alert system issued by the Federal Emergency Management Agency covering the United States. Therefore, I have to assume this isn't going to hit Canada. But I don't like to just assume. I like to dig deeper. So I went a little bit further, and then I checked out another site here, and it says PSA, Public Service Announcement, National Emergency Alert Test to hit all U.S. iPhones on Wednesday. I don't know why they're limiting it to iPhones, but I'm pretty sure it's going to hit all phones, but I don't know, whatever. Try not to be too startled on Wednesday, yada, yada, yada. It goes over to the same thing as the test is going to take place. A loud noise and a loud noise accompanied by the test. All right, so here's what's important. So besides the fact that it's in English and Spanish, and it's conducted by FEMA, which is a U.S. federal government agency, and the other article said U.S., I'm assuming U.S. only, not Canada, because if it was in Canada, they would say in English, in Spanish, and in Canadian, right? So they didn't say that. Now, this one here says only turned on smartphones with cellular access will receive the message. If your device is only connected to Wi-Fi or in airplane mode, it won't get the notification. iPhone owners can dial star 5005 star 25371 pound to enable test notifications. Don't know who came up with that number. Or dial star 5005 star 25370 pound to disable test notifications. Okay, I guess that's why this article is specific to iPhones, but what an intense code you have to remember to turn on and off notifications. So star 5005 star 25370 pound to enable or disable. I don't have an iPhone. So I'm going to ask you guys to run the test. And if you could, just drop a comment. Let me know what happens when you do that. My kid's got an iPhone, but she's not here. So I'll try to do it the same, and maybe I could do a little video and show you. But if you guys beat me to it, then by all means, drop a comment. And it says, if the October 4 test is postponed, a backup test will take place on October 11. No word of a postponement, but anything is possible, much like we saw a last-minute proposal of a new government budget to avoid a government shutdown at the 11th hour. So that's a plus. And U.S. averts government shutdown. That's a plus, because it was only going to have negative impacts, especially for those who already face food insecurities and risks of food shortages associated with SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Programs, and food stamps and EBT. But again, I apologize, because I realize that sometimes, yes, I do try to provide you with enough information and research before presenting the big picture, before the big reveal, before the climax, as you will, or at least that's how a script writer would structure it, before closing with a call to action. And some of you would prefer that the video just start off with exactly what you need to know, which maybe I can try to do that, but I feel like sometimes if I just do that, then what I say won't necessarily be understood, because I've tried to oversimplify it. So I just wanted to apologize to you guys for maybe drawing these out too long, or providing you with too much background, too much history and research, which I think, more knowledge, the better. Knowledge is power. And I realized this on a video I put up earlier today, where granted, sometimes the titles of the videos aren't necessarily bullet point lists of the video and what is included in the video. So, sometimes it's like a mood, or it's like a feeling, or it's like a metaphor, or it's like figuratively speaking. So I get it. But not everybody communicates the same way. So we're all communicating differently, right? But all trying to communicate the same message, And eventually YouTube is going to introduce A and B testing, actually A and B and C. So they're going to allow for 3 different types of thumbnails on videos that they can test. So maybe that's going to help with becoming more effective in our communication. But the video was titled, "Get Ready. Lockdowns are coming. 99% of the big 3 banks prepare shutdown. We avoid wiped out." Now, number one, thank you all. I really do appreciate the kind words and well wishes to get well, get better. I think I'm feeling better. I think I'm sounding better. What do you guys think? I really do appreciate that. Maybe the decongestant in the over the counter medicine still works. I don't know. Or maybe I wasn't congested. Maybe it was just something else. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I had too much to drink last night. I don't know. Maybe I had too much on my mind. Maybe I didn't sleep well. I can tell you that. I woke up a lot last night, probably like 5 or 6 times. I didn't sleep well. But either way, a lot weighing on me right now. But with that being said, the lockdowns are coming may have been misinterpreted, may have not necessarily been entirely clear. But my intention was that by the government, by the banks, by elitists, by corporations, by businesses, by the some of the the 1%ers, the folks who are essentially in charge, the organizations that would prefer to see channels like Russell Brand, canceled, shut down, others, Pinball Preparedness, or whomever, just silenced and gone altogether. They all use money as a way to control, or at least assert their force, their effect, their will on others. So I was actually telling you guys a story about a real estate brokerage or company here in Florida, and they got into some hot water, and they were being sued by several different state attorney generals. And what they did was they shut down their bank accounts. They froze their accounts. They seized their accounts. That's how you stop people in their tracks. Literally, think about it. If you've ever had an instance where you lost your wallet, lost your credit card, had like fraud violate your account, had Bank of America or Zelle or Wells Fargo or one of these other banks mess up your account, have to replace a lost or stolen credit card. If you don't have a backup, you know how much that can disrupt your entire life, right? They know that too. So when I'm talking about all the technological glitches that were happening, the shutdowns of these ATMs not allowing people to gain access to their money, the tech glitches and cybersecurity threats and attacks hitting Estes Freight and X and their their border live stream, and the banks also talking about PNC, Chase Bank closing more branches, Wells Fargo Bank closing more branches, Bank of America having some ATM outage issues after having these problems with Zelle and money transfers, and also Wells Fargo announcing hundreds of layoffs. The attack is coming through a digital means, okay? A digital front, digital weapon, okay? And it will be tied to a fiduciary and monetary economic, vessel. For instance, like a rocket or a missile carries the payload being the warhead. And that's essentially where we're at, okay? So I didn't quite so explicitly or eloquently explain that. And I understand how maybe some people were expecting a different lockdown conversation, as if they were going to build walls around our cities or lock us into 15-minute cities or enforce new mandates or mass mandates or what social distancing or whatever it may be. I understand that people may have thought that might have been the case, but I was essentially talking about how they could lock us down with the money. Make it so you can't buy fuel. Make it so you can't buy gas to travel. Make it so you can't do anything. You can't buy medication. You can't go to the doctor. You can't. Literally, you would be reverting back to a barter system that may work with you and I and our neighbors, but it's not going to work with businesses and corporations that are more than likely tied into it and behind it. You see what I'm saying? So, apologies. Please accept my apologies. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for commenting. Thank you guys for engaging. Thank you guys for continuously sharing my videos. Thank you guys for all your support. I really do appreciate it. And remember, you guys, please be safe. Take care. Reach out to me. My info is in the description down below. Comments, questions, concerns, good, bad, or indifferent, whatever. If you're not having a great day and you want to leave a bad comment, just leave in the comments, I'm not having a great day. And let's talk about it, okay? Until then, you guys remember, keep God first. Be well, be safe, stay smart, stay informed. And until next time, you guys take care. I'll see you.